So they call this the Red Caboose Park here in Nashville, and we'll pretend that the caboose is 49ers colors, not Chiefs colors, for this 49ers update. Couple signings today made official. Exclusive rights free agents Austin Pleasant and Jake Tonjes have signed their tenders from the 49ers. So both of these guys are going to be on the team officially next year. Not a lot of drama here. They didn't have any negotiating power as exclusive rights free agents. The 49ers will be paying Austin Pleasant, the offensive tackle, $960,000, and they'll be paying Jake Tonjes, the tight end, $1.03 million. The way that the ERFA, exclusive rights free agents process, works is that a player without enough service time to be considered a restricted free agent can only negotiate with the team who has rights over him. And the 49ers had that positioning over both Austin Pleasant and over Jake Tonjes. So that meant that they were not able to negotiate anything higher than the preset veteran minimum for their respective levels of service time. Now, Tonjes delivered 231 special team snaps for the 49ers last year, about 34, 35 snaps on offense. And San Francisco right now, they might draft a tight end, we'll see. My mock draft is coming out tomorrow on the San Francisco Standard, by the way, so stay tuned for that. But Jake Tonjes was a valuable member of the team last year. Obviously, wasn't a big splash contributor on offense, but gave them some important special team snaps and some important blocking reps in the offensive part of the game. So there's decent value there, $1.03 million for Jake Tonjes. Austin Pleasant came aboard when the 49ers were really struggling with injuries at the end of the season just to get to the finish line with that offensive line. And he played 2 games at that tackle position. Charlie Heck split time with Austin Pleasant late in the year, and he delivered some solid football for the 49ers for what you would expect, just a tackle that they basically found off the street late in the year. Played well enough for San Francisco to deliver offensively in a big way in that game against the Detroit Lions. That was not the fault of the 49ers offense against Detroit. That was obviously a game where their defense bled a lot of points and a lot of yardage. So Austin Pleasant's aboard for at least the offseason. Jake Tonjes aboard for at least the offseason. We will see what the 49ers do in the NFL draft once that comes exactly a week from now. A week from now, we're going to be digging in for that first round of the draft. So John Lynch always does a pre-draft press conference. It's usually the Monday before the NFL draft. This year, probably because of the Easter holiday, on Sunday, John Lynch is going to speak at 12 Pacific time Tuesday. No Kyle Shanahan scheduled to go with him. Now, Shanahan has never been pre-scheduled to do this press conference before the draft with John Lynch, but I can never forget the 2021 season after the 49ers had traded up to number 3. They'd eventually take Trey Lance. I'll never forget that Kyle Shanahan was a last-minute addition to this pre-draft press conference. And I thought that it was weird at the time. I was like, well, what's going on? Why are the 49ers insisting that Kyle Shanahan join this press conference? And it turned out that they were just trying to misdirect people. It's when Kyle Shanahan said that he wasn't sure if he was going to be alive by the time that the draft happened. He was asked if Jimmy Garoppolo was going to be on the 49ers roster. So Shanahan, I don't think particularly enjoys doing media stuff, and the fact that he volunteered himself to join what was originally scheduled to only be a GM availability, I thought was significant in that 2021 cycle. I do not expect Kyle Shanahan to randomly join the press conference this time around. We're going to walk up here to a cool little old log cabin at the top of Red Caboose Park as we discuss this draft. The mock draft is coming out tomorrow, so I hope you guys are ready for that. You can guess who you think I'm going to pick at number 11. Maybe you can guess some other names down in the comment section. All right, so let's check this out. Look at that, a little log cabin right at sunset here in Nashville. Now, there's a story behind this, and I would like to get the story for you. There's not that much to talk about right now, so this is the DeMoss cabin. The cabin was the home of Revolutionary War Captain Abraham Louis DeMoss, his wife Hannah, and their 9 children after he bought land near here in 1800. DeMoss named his home Bellevue, French for beautiful view, and that became the name of the entire area. Look at that. So this guy, his wife, and 9 kids lived in this little log cabin, and I don't think they had this view yet, but I mean, there's like a nice steeple behind us. They might have had some nice sunset views. You know, these Tennessee sunsets, especially this time of the year in April, are quite nice. So who would have known? We're talking about Austin Pleasants, the Ohio product, and we're talking about Jake Tonjes, the Cal product, officially re-signing with the 49ers, and we get a little log cabin behind us while we have that discussion. John Lynch's press conference is going to be Tuesday, and it's, you know, it's always one of those pressers that has the potential to be slightly awkward just because what's John going to talk about? He's not going to divulge the 49ers picks. He doesn't want to divulge the strategy. He's going to go out there. He's going to be asked about Brock Purdy's contract. It's comical to me how people keep on trying to make updates out of Brock Purdy's contract. Guys, it's a negotiation. They obviously haven't reached a deal yet. You know, we don't have to obsess over it every single minute. It will get done. It's just a matter of, again, some deadline pressure hitting. The 49ers report for their offseason program on April 21st. That's not the start of OTAs, but it is a partial start of the offseason program, and we viewed that as a sort of deadline. If Brock Purdy doesn't plan to show up without a contract, we viewed that as a sort of deadline to get this done. So as updates come, we'll give them to you. I'm sure John Lynch will be asked about Brock Purdy on Tuesday and that entire contract negotiation. Beyond that, he's going to deliver the 49ers. Probably will let us know how many players in the draft. You know, the 49ers gave the gold helmet designation. He'll probably talk about how many first-round grades the 49ers have in the draft. He's just not going to talk in specifics on Tuesday, but we'll be able to ask him about some of the veterans, how the offseason is going, how the 49ers envision some of the positional competitions around this roster. I think everybody understands the stakes of this draft, and you'll read tomorrow my mock draft up on the San Francisco Standard. You'll read that I invoked 1986 and Bill Walsh's most famous draft effort and all the trades that the 49ers made that year and the way they were able to capitalize on a very meaty draft that wasn't particularly top heavy. Well, I think that applies to 2025 as well. 49ers could really use their version of the 1986 draft here in 2025. All right, there's your 49ers update for the day. You never know where you're going to end up on this channel. Sometimes you'll end up at a log cabin with a nice sunset in the Nashville area. I got to book my flight back to the Bay Area. They are having the press conference on Tuesday instead of Monday, so I think maybe I'll push that flight back a day. All right, there's your 49ers update. We'll talk to you soon.